Ontario's Transportation Minister in Shunya for the official opening of a new truck inspection station. Good evening and thank you for joining us. It's the first time in over a decade that there's been an inspection station between Thunder Bay and Nipigon.
Ontario Transportation Minister Prabmeet Sarkaria was in Shunya this morning to announce the opening of the $30 million facility. Vasilios Bellos was with the minister today, who says this station will make area highways safer.
That's right, Ryan. Well, the facility will look at trucks for any dangerous deficiencies. That includes the quality of the brakes and the vehicle's weight. And while this is an important step, the minister did recognize proper driver training as another crucial factor to ensuring our highways are safe. It's a new state-of-the-art facility the province says will improve road safety on Northern Ontario highways. On Friday, the province announced the opening of a new $30 million truck inspection station in Shunya. It happened during a visit from Ontario's Transportation Minister, Prabmeet Sarkaria. Trucks that roll through the station can be inspected for important safety aspects, including underinflated tires or malfunctioning brakes.
Ensure that the trucks that are on our roads remain safe, and those that are not get taken off. So we have leading technology on stations like this that help us assess the safety of trucks.
While the long-awaited station is a step towards safety, highway advocates have been calling for stronger training regulations for truckers. Sarkaria says he recognizes this and understands the unique challenges of driving northern roads.
From a weather-specific nature, trained people on our roads, especially commercial vehicle drivers. We're looking and talking with safety advocates, the Ontario Trucking Association, and many others who also themselves have been advocating on truck safety and road safety.
Having a station like this isn't necessarily going to enforce people to drive safely.
Shunya Mayor Wendy Landry says the station will make vehicles safer, but stresses the importance of advocacy and enforcement.
We have to keep that piece going and keep reminding people to drive safe on our highways. But this station offers another step to double checking on the transportation, the commercial transportation in the area.
Vasilios Bellos, TBT News.
Also during Minister Sarkaria's visit, a nearly $20 million collaboration from all levels of government to improve transit infrastructure and multi-use trails in Thunder Bay. The majority of the funding is going towards constructing new trails and pedestrian bridges. Those will be near transit routes to make bus stops more accessible. Another portion of the funding will see 48 of the city's diesel buses refurbished. Local MP Patty Haidu was there to announce the federal contribution and says having all levels of government on hand was important.
A responsibility to work together to ensure that all of our communities are connected, that people see themselves as having value in our communities, and that we can all ensure that we have communities that people are proud of.
Help reduce traffic, transform the public transit system, and improve accessibility on over 13 kilometers of sidewalks, pathways, and trails.
It allows the municipality to deal with some of those more localized neighborhood connectivity issues. So I would say these kind of announcements have more than just a direct effect. There's a ripple.
This funding also covers City Transit's 2 new electric pickup trucks, which were unveiled last week.
The Port of Thunder Bay will receive up to $6.7 million from Ottawa for 2 new projects through the National Trade Corridors Fund.
The investments will enhance the port's efficiency for importing and exporting goods while attracting new markets to optimize Canada's national transportation system. Jaden Billick reports.
This is an important announcement for Thunder Bay.
MPP Marcus Pulowski announced the $6.7 million investment on behalf of Federal Transport Minister Pablo Rodriguez. The goal is to improve the port's ability to ship grain, potash, steel, wind turbine components, transformers, and phosphate fertilizers while growing the area's economy.
But obviously a lot of bulk goods, a lot of things which are needed for the infrastructure, for example, for the tar sands out west, for gold mines, comes through this port. So this is important economically, not just for Thunder Bay, but for northwestern Ontario and for all of Western Canada.
The first portion of the funding is up to $3 million to redevelop the marshalling yard at Kiefer Terminal. It will include upgrades to their outdated rail track, a much-needed heavyweight rail track system, and improvements to the port's cargo handling capabilities. Port CEO Chris Heikkinen says there are many advantages here for exporters and importers.
One of the things that we're really benefited with here at Kiefer Terminal is we have a lot of space. A lot of ports are in more congested situations, whereas we have room to grow. And so by investing money into that capacity growth, we're appealing more to these customers that are bringing in these large commodities.
The other $3.7 million will contribute to enhancing the port's capacity, such as upgrades to the wharf, the cargo laydown area, including new electrical infrastructure, and rail crossing safety improvements. These components are essential as cargo will be larger with a much higher volume of goods being imported and exported through the terminal. Heikkinen says he's excited for these projects as they have already entered the planning stages.
So we've already sort of begun some of the design work, and we're going to have shovels in the ground this spring on the rail work, and the other work will proceed probably beginning towards the end of this calendar year, and all said and done, it's probably about a 3-year project. So towards the end of 26 is when we look to have it complete.
Jaden Billick, DBT News.
The chiefs of 5 First Nations are saying no to nuclear waste in northwestern Ontario. The chiefs are telling the Nuclear Waste Management Organization they will not accept any risks to their water, land, and people. The NWO just released a new study which says the Ignace site in the heart of the Canadian Shield is a safe place for an underground repository. But KI Chief Donnie Morris doesn't agree.
I'll have to disagree with that because you look at what is there right now. This, I guess it's called the Canadian Shield, eh? But to open it up to go, what is it, 1,000 feet underground? Like there's going to be cracks made when you're drilling or blowing up or whatever. I'm not a scientist and all that, but I know when you touch something to make changes, it's going to break sometimes in the future.
The leaders of KI, Niskandiga, Grassy Narrows, Onigaming, and Wapakika are all members of the First Nation Land Defense Alliance. The 5 communities are opposed to forestry and mining in their traditional territories. But now they've sent a joint letter to the NWMO regarding the proposed nuclear waste repository. Morris admits he originally wasn't concerned about it because the Ignace site is nearly 500 kilometers from his community. But he changed his mind when he thought about all the rivers that flow north into Hudson Bay.
I don't think I would like to see anything in the future to damage our environment, our homelands in the future. So that's why I decided to come on board. I mean, that's the intent of having an alliance, is to make sure we have a say or how we're going to approach this nuclear waste that's going to be put in our area of northwestern Ontario.
The NWMO continues to work with Ignace and Wabigoon Lake Ojibwe Nation on their status as potential host communities. But Morris says every community in the region should have its say in whether the project goes ahead.
There were a lot of laughs over at the Superior North EMS headquarters last night. Members of Thunder Bay Fire Rescue and City Police finally paid up over a friendly bet from last year's Polar Plunge competition. Every year, police officers, firefighters, and paramedics hold a friendly competition to see who can raise the most money for the Polar Plunge. The 3 emergency services combined to raise $40,000 last year. $17,000 of that was raised by EMS staff, making them the big winners. That meant police and firefighters had to host a barbecue for everyone and wash their ambulances. The evening started with the fire team having to respond to a call, but that just gave the paramedics more time to prepare their ambulances for them.
Absolutely. I think we had someone drive through some mud puddles to try and get one a little bit extra dirty for them to wash it up. So looking forward to them washing. Hopefully they don't get called to another fire.
You know what? It's all in good fun. It's good camaraderie with all 3 services. So we really appreciate all that. And you know what? I'll just admit it. We're probably not going to win again. So we'll be washing here ambulances again next year.
They can poke some fun at us, and you know, we're kind of serving them, and they're you know, it's a good time. So, but yes, we need to kind of pick up our socks. So I think as it stands now this year, we're behind the medics and ahead of fire. So even if I can coast in the middle, I'll be happy. If we can climb to number 1, that'd be good. But we'll see. I suspect that they might everybody might make a move, and we'll have to kind of pull up our socks here.
Well, this year's Polar Plunge will take place at Marina Park on April 6th. So far, the EMS team has the fundraising lead once again, but with nearly a month to go, there's still time for that to change.
Thunder Bay has seen anything but a normal winter, and the first day of spring technically doesn't arrive until Tuesday.
But with the snow nearly gone, Dragon Hills Golf Course opened up its 9-hole course today for eager golfers to get their first round in. Joe Sadowski was there.
This is no doubt the earliest a golf course has ever been open here in Thunder Bay. And some of the golfers we chatted with here at Dragon Hills were just as surprised as you.
It's March, it's Thunder Bay, and a golf course is open. Just how crazy is that?
It's nice. This is our first time coming out, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of our playing time.
We were out here on the driving range on Wednesday, and there was a guy, and he had been skiing at Mount Baldy in the morning, and he was on the driving range in the afternoon. He thought it was wonderful.
While the course was a bit damp and had some patches of ice, slush, and snow, the people playing the course say the conditions are beyond their expectations.
Yeah, honestly, well, I think this is Augusta National for Thunder Bay and March weather. Yeah, hats off to the folks at Dragon Hills. I can't believe they got it open early enough, and I mean the grass is in pretty good shape based on a couple swings that I've done. And
Superintendent for Dragon Hills Golf Course Daryl Morrow says the grounds crew has been blessed with a lighter winter, which allowed them to have this early opening.
It's been an easy winter on my turf, on my grass, and like I said, from tee to green, hardly any blemishes out there. It's like I put it to bed back in November. A little bit of heat, and everything will just be right back to business as usual.
And when we asked Morrow if he's worried about having to close again, if winter returns, he said as long as Mother Nature is kind, they're not going anywhere until next winter.
It's always weather permitting, so the pins are in. They don't come out until next winter. It's open. If you guys want to come out and bear the weather, come on out.
Now, if you would have told me when I first moved here that I'd be doing a golf story in the middle of March in Thunder Bay, I would have told you you're crazy, but here we are, and I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. Dialed in. Joe Sadowski, TBT News.
Okay. I guarantee that was not his first try.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Mine was a real first try. That definitely had done a few times. But I mean, Fiona, turning our attention out of weather, we didn't crack the double digits, but still not a bad day for those golfers out there.
We came pretty close. Yeah. We'll say a high of 9 despite a lot of cloud. And it started out with very light winds, but as you can see, it kicked up to 35 kilometers per hour this afternoon from the southwest, and it's going up from there. So it might be a little gusty to be out golfing this weekend. Now, if we take a look at what's going on across the region, we've got a lot of cloud cover in Fort Frances. The winds have already been picking up quite a bit there. As we head north into Red Lake, Sioux Lookout, Kenora, Pickle Lake, they've got a little bit of afternoon snow showers moving through. Red Lake is currently at their high of 0 for the day, so it is definitely getting much cooler coming in from the northwest. Eastward into Armstrong and Greenstone, they're in the low single digits on the plus side. Armstrong had a lot more sunshine this afternoon than Greenstone on that side. Clouds have been rolling in. And Sault Ste. Marie, currently 5 Celsius, lots of sunshine. They topped out with a high of 6. Now, if we take a look at what's been moving in throughout the afternoon, moving through Manitoba and into northwestern Ontario over the last 12 hours or so, you can see this is a huge system. It's got a lot of rain in it, but as the cooler air moves down from the northwest, that's going to transition. It's almost at Thunder Bay, so no surprise that tonight we're looking at the rain to begin in the late evening hours. Temperature-wise, though, it's really not going to get very cold. We're going to drop down to a low of just 4 Celsius. That's above the freezing mark. So the rain is going to stick around, and the winds will continue to gust up to 40 kilometers per hour. But that is just setting the stage for a weekend that is going to make it feel like winter is definitely not done yet. It's because we're looking at cooling temperatures, strong winds, and yes, the possibility of snow.
Oh, say it ain't so when it comes to snow. That's a word I don't want to hear anymore, that's for sure. Okay, thank you, Fiona. Well, when we come back, we'll start off in Gaza, where aid is on the way. One of the first ships that were using that new sea route is fast approaching, and we'll have more on that as your Friday News Hour continues.
Hunger is killing us, he says. I am leaving the north because there is nothing available. No food, no drinks.